Okay, I want to start off this future with something that is very dear to my heart. How about Azure backups? You know, Mark, customers spend quite a time doing backups and trying to make sure they save these accurately and in a very nice place so nothing goes wrong with it. Well, with Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013, now you have the ability to actually click one button and have your backups stored directly into the Microsoft Azure storage infrastructure. So how about that for a future?
That's pretty nice, Mariano. I'm going to go a little more functional. So everybody knows when you go to do a bank reconciliation and you go to that bank account and you realize, you know what, we didn't have any activity in this account.
Yep.
So now I got to do a workaround to do a bank reconciliation and print the reports. New feature in GP 2013, I can actually reconcile a bank account that has, oh, sorry, done the wrong one. That's all right. Cash receipts. So we're working with cash receipts. Yeah, I know.
It has to do with banks anyway, Mark.
Yeah,
so,
I know.
You know.
All right, cash receipts. We start working with cash receipts and we realize, I don't know what checkbook this went into. Well, the new inquiry window in Dynamics GP now has the checkbook as well, so we can actually see this all in one spot. But what's most important is that this came from you guys. You guys voted for this on Microsoft Connect, you told the team you want it, and now it's in the product. And so it's really important for you to go out and tell the team what you want, and it will get in there. So also, let's talk about emailing documents. So today, Dynamics GP, if you want to email a SOP document, you really only get one email address to use. One of the new features is we can have a different email address for the different types of documents. So I can send quotes to one person and I can send invoices to another. What do you think of that, Mariano?
Well, Mark, you know what? I have something for you. How about printing the remaining documents for email? In the past, as you know, it was definitely a little bit difficult to have to print one document, then proceed and email it, or vice versa. Now, the Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013 R2 release now provides the ability to actually print those documents and email them all in one step. How about that?
That's pretty nice.
Well, you're a movie buff just like I am, right? And we all know that sequels are not necessarily the best thing ever. But with Document Attach 2.0, I think the Microsoft Dynamics GP development team got it right this time. And definitely one of the things you can do now is have the ability to email your attachments along with all your transaction documents.
All right, so now let's go to some nitty-gritty accounting stuff and talk about reconciling checkbooks when we don't have any transactions. This is really nice. We can reconcile them, print the report, makes it a whole lot easier and you don't have to work around anymore. But I also want to talk about AP for just a second. So for a long time, we could sort checks when they came out of accounts payable. If you wanted them by zip code, you could do that. But you had to do it at the check batch level. So you had to change it every time you were creating a check batch. Now this is a default setting. You can actually set the default once and forget about it from there.
That's a great future, Mark. But along the lines of checks, how about payroll checks? You know, for the past years, everybody have been struggling with trying to get their check inquiries sorted by check date. Now, this is a default sorting order in the application, and there you go. You have it as a nice option. Now, in the past also, you guys have been working through the Professional Services Tools Library in order to combine your vendors and modify the vendor IDs. Now, that's a standard feature within Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013 R2. Beat that, Mark.
All right. Well, I love Vendor Combiner, but you know what else I love?
Fixed assets.
I love fixed assets. So let's talk about those for a minute. With the initial release of GP 2013, we got the ability to auto-number our fixed assets, which was pretty cool. But we still only had one numbering scheme.
Yep.
So now we can actually have multiple numbering schemes based on class. So if I want my computers to have one set of numbers and my furniture and fixtures to have another set, we can do that as part of auto numbering. And I don't want to leave here without talking about inventory.
Inventory is dear to my heart too.
So when you set up an item and assign it to a site, today you really have to do that one at a time. It's kind of a challenge to really do a lot of sites all at once. Well, With new windows in Dynamics GP, we can actually set up an item, assign it to multiple sites at once, manage those sites, unassign, really be able to control how our inventory interacts with our sites. You got anything that can top that, Mariano?
Absolutely. How about taking company database offline? You know, you and I have been, there you go, you and I have been consultants for quite some time, and you know that going to a customer always is a challenge when you have to do maintenance. Getting people out of the system, make sure they get alerted properly. Well, with Microsoft Dynamics GP 2013 R2, now you have the ability to actually take your company offline, all in one step, while alerting users to the event. Top one. Actually, I have one better for you, since you actually come from a CFO background, right? Well, how about the ability to actually reverse your fiscal years? So before the typical answer was what?
Microsoft Services.
Microsoft Services. Well, now you guys have the ability to actually reverse your fiscal years, open them as you need, going back so many years as you need, and actually record your transactions or audit logs depending on what your auditors suggested.
That's pretty nice. All right, I think I can beat you, Mariano. You're not going to win this year.
Okay.
So you guys asked for this. You begged for it on Microsoft Connect. People told me I shouldn't have to create an integration just to upload a journal entry and put it in. I've got a 100-line journal entry. I just want to copy and paste it into Dynamics GP. Well, now with the R2 release, you can go into Microsoft Excel, copy your journal entry, and paste it into Microsoft Dynamics GP.